335 XI Main. We are at Speak Street. Davis, Fox 21. We're pulling into the post office parking lot.
21.
How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good, I'm Officer Farmington Police. The reason for the stop today is there's no registration on your vehicle.
I don't need registration and I don't answer questions.
Alrighty. Davis, Fox 21. Can you have a couple more heading my way? Is this back window roll down?
Why do you need to know that?
I just want to make sure that you're the only one in the vehicle. So here's the deal, man. I'm stopping you because there's no registration on your vehicle, and I'm requesting your identification. Okay? You are detained at this time, and you are not free to leave. Are you going to provide me your identification?
I don't answer questions.
Okay, so I'm going to take that as a no, that you're not going to provide me your identification. Is that the route we're going? Or would you like to provide your identification to me, and we can have a conversation, we can discuss the laws that you're breaking, and then we can go from there.
If you want my identification, you will be under duress and you accept surety and trusteeship over it. Meaning you will be responsible for any debts that you're trying to incur here.
Okay, so I'm not trying to incur any debts or anything. I'm trying to investigate why your vehicle doesn't have any registration.
1692, you are trying to incur a debt and legal action for something
Okay.
that is not allowed.
Okay.
And under
So,
Title 18, Section
here's
245, traveling is a federally protected activity.
Okay.
In which
I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. And what I'm telling you is that you do not have an option to identify yourself.
I do.
You are lawfully required to identify yourself. So you can provide your identification to me, and we can have a conversation about the laws that you've broken, or you can fail to identify it to me, and we can go that route too. I'm perfectly okay with either way you want to go, but the direction that this encounter goes is 100% in your hands.
Sir, Utah Code, United States Code,
Okay.
is a corporate policy
Okay.
in which you have to be contracted in to be required to follow it. Unless you
Okay.
can provide me a contract with my wet ink signature on it saying that I'm required to follow it,
Okay.
then there's
So do you want to identify yourself to me, or do you want to go a different route? Wonderful. Do you have a driver license as well?
I am not giving you jurisdiction.
Okay.
Do not stop. Do not detain. You are not allowed to stop me.
Let me see that.
On your list,
I didn't see what you just tried to show me. Can you show that to me again? What's this?
This is a passport. It says, do not stay, do not detain. And if you go on the first page,
Okay.
it says, the United States hereby requests all who may it concern
Okay.
to permit the citizens
Here's what I'm telling you.
United States named herein.
Here's what I'm telling you.
Without delay or hindrance.
Okay. Will you hand that to me so I can read it? You want me to look at it through this tiny crack in your window?
I'm not handing it to you.
You're not going to hand it to me?
If I hand this to you, you accept trusteeship and surety, and you are obligated.
Sure, I'll accept trustingship if you just hand me the document so I can identify who you are, because you're required by state law.
I am not
Thank you so much, Mr. Chase Allan.
That is not me. That is a piece of plastic paper.
So you have a fraudulent passport?
No.
Wonderful.
Is a piece of paper.
That's what I'm hearing. Okay, step out of the car for me.
No.
Sir, step out of the vehicle.
No.
Right now.
I am not required to.
Step out of this vehicle right now.
Then we're going to have an issue where
Step out of the car right now.
Don't step out of the car. We're going to break the window and pull you out. Step out. Out of the car.
Gun, 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 gun! Gun!
If you don't step out of the car, we're going to break the window and pull you out. Step out of the car. Step out of the car.
Gun, 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 gun! Cease fire! Cease fire! Cease fire! Sir, step out of the vehicle.
No.
Right now.
I am not required to.
Step out of this vehicle right now.
Then we're going to have an issue where
Step out of the car right now.
Don't step out of the car. We're going to break the window and pull you out. Step out of the car.
Gun, 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 gun! Gun! Cease fire! Cease fire! Cease fire! Okay, step out of the car for me. Sir, step out of the vehicle right now.
I am not required to.
Step out of this vehicle right now.
Then we're going to have an issue
Sir, step out of the car right
If you
now.
don't step out of the car, we're going to break the window and pull you out. Step out of the car.
Gun, 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 gun! Gun! Cease fire! Cease fire! Okay, step out of the car for me. Sir, step out of the vehicle right now. Step out of this vehicle right now. Step out of the car right now.
If you don't step out of the car, we're going to break the window and pull you out. Step out of the car.
Gun, 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 gun! Cease fire! Cease fire! Cease fire! That's what I'm hearing. Okay, step out of the car for me. Sir, step out of the vehicle right now.
I am not required to.
Step out of this vehicle right now.
We're going to have an issue.
Step out of the car right
If you
now.
don't step out of the car, we're going to break the window and pull you out. Step out of the car.
Gun, 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 gun!
Cease fire!
Have a fraudulent passport? Wonderful. That's what I'm hearing. Okay, step out of the car for me. Sir, step out of the vehicle right now. Step out of this vehicle right now. Step out of the car right
If you
now.
don't step out of the car, we're going to break the window and pull you out. Step out of the car.
Gun, 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 gun!
Keeping in mind, obviously it's an ongoing investigation. There's going to be some things that I'm not going to be able to comment on simply because I don't know with that, let's begin. Yes, sir.
Chief, with the Allan family history of the police department, when Chase produced the passport to that officer, do you know if the officer knew the family history or had any idea? There was a short amount of time there, but did he know? Was that known?
Again, I don't know what the officer would say to that question because I've not spoken to him and asked him that question. But I'm willing to tell you this, that it's not my belief they do. All right, 4 of those officers on scene have been with the department for 7 to 8 months max. One of those officers on scene has been with us for 12 years and has not had any involvement with that family.
Can we move back to the podium to the
I apologize.
That's all good.
Can you talk about what do you see when you watch the videos? Do you see things on textbook? Do you see things that can be done differently? What do you see?
I see police officers that are made a lawful and reasonable traffic stop and dealt with someone that was combative. Let me change that word from combative to non-compliant. All right, how's that? I see them deal with him professionally, even keeled, cool, calm, and collected temperament, and unfortunately, then I see things go a really tragic direction.
But you can't tell the video opinion if he, not obviously. Did you see the guy in the holster in the video when he slowed down, and then after the shooting, it's on the floor? Did you see them point and pull it out, or did you see him pointing at the officers?
I'm literally watching what you're watching. I have not been privy to any further breakdown. I anticipate that the protocol team, through their investigation, may be able to provide better detail to that. But
based on what you saw, did you? I mean, it happened so fast to me. You've probably seen it a few times. Did you see, based on what you saw, that he pulled it or gestured to it?
based on what I see, which is what we're all watching, I see a manipulation of that holster, movement of that holster, but I can't clearly see a firearm from the angle that the camera does. And I think it's important. You know, Force Science does some really great education and training. Force Science Institute on the difference of what your eyeballs will see on any given scene versus what the camera can see. And I think that's what is occurring here.
Chief,
Yes.
when it comes to training on this, I mean, obviously, yeah, there was a holster and there was a gun. Are officers trained to fire when they see the gun or when the person, in this case, reaches for it?
Officers are trained to respond using deadly force when there's an imminent threat of serious bodily injury or death to them or anyone other than the suspect. And what I see on that video is officers not responding to someone that just has a gun in a holster.
This might be speculative, but do you see that going any other way by the behaviour of the officers?
I apologize. Can you say that one more time?
This might be speculative, but do you see that situation going any other way based on the way the officers approached it?
Yeah, I don't want to speculate on that. You know, I think the initial officer, made a really interesting comment to the driver of that vehicle. This is going to go the way you decide it's going to go.
Now there's been more time to investigate. Is there any indication that the man who was pulled over had ties to the San Francisco movement or anything like that?
I have not spent any time corroborating that. I've seen the reports. That's nothing I've spent any time looking into. Yes.
Chief, at some point with the dispatch order we've heard, there was somebody said shut off all the body cameras, and that has led to a lot of speculation that police say maybe we messed up or something like that, shut off the body cameras. What is your response when we've heard that go through dispatch?
To be clear, the police have not said maybe we messed up. I've answered this question. I'm happy to answer it again. Having worked on these protocol teams throughout my career, the order shut off body cameras was simply done out of efficiency for the investigation. The dynamicness, the fluidity of the incident was well over with before that radio broadcast we're referring to was put out. And it's simply so that an investigator that could otherwise be doing other important things for the investigation doesn't have to sit and watch every second of a video camera that provides nothing.
The incident was over.
It was over, correct.
Can you, I don't know, can you make any judgment as to whether they were justified or not justified?
That's not my place to do that.
Can you tell me a little bit about, if you've seen this a lot, how many shots were fired, have you been able to determine, and was it the 5 officers then that fired from their weapons?
There were 5 officers that fired, and the amount of shots will be included in the critical incidents report. That takes time to get those ballistic reports back, so I can't comment on it today because I don't know.
Chief, yeah, I just want to go back to the beginning too. The illegitimate plate, just confirming what was on that plate and what made it illegitimate versus a normal license plate.
It's, I refer to it as more of a placard. There's nothing about it that says it's a license plate, as we all know it, right? There's a flag symbol, and then to be quite honest, I don't even know what the text says on there. I haven't viewed it that thoroughly, but it's not a plate from the state of Utah or any other of the 49 states.
Is it like homemade?
I do not know that.
Has the department been in contact with the family regarding their use of this operation? Have they seen the evidence?
Farmington Police Department has not had contact with the family. That is an assignment that's been given through the protocol team to the Bountiful Police Department. I know that they were made multiple attempts to reach out to the family. The last I heard is that the family had not responded back. That offer was given to them, or at least attempted to be given them before you all viewed it. I don't know where that stands.
A few people have been saying that the window between first contact and opening fire was quite small. What's your comment to that? It was only about 3 to 4 minutes. Is that normal? Or?
We talk about routine traffic stops. The word normal, I don't know that I can apply the word normal to that.
Maybe you said this, maybe you can't say, did he fire, or can we say he didn't fire?
Again, the ballistics report would be what would give us that information, and that would be some time where we're privy to that.
Chief,
yes,
the critical incident team is still working on this investigation. Why go ahead and release this video?
Because it's factual. It's information that we have that we can get out. I think transparency. I know the public. Many people want to know where this is at, and the effort of transparency. We're anxious to put out what we know and what we can say. And so, the reason statements aren't made during an open, active investigation is someone might misspeak, and that creates conflict from one statement to the other. The video speaks for itself. The video is not going to change.
The investigator is looking to try and get the video that looks like Chase was recording from his phone. Is it for another angle or anything like that?
Yes, it appears to me that he's. Now, I don't know if he actually is videoing, but it certainly appears to me that he is.
Yeah, I was just wondering if investigators were trying to get that video.
I have no doubt. Yeah, I have no doubt.
You've not seen it, though?
No, I am not privy to the critical incident team's investigation whatsoever.
Chief, do we know if that gun belonged to Chase, or is there a different gun on it? Or is there a way?
Once again, I have no doubt that will all be part of the critical incidents team's investigation.
Chief, how are those officers doing? I mean, there are split-second decisions that are made that have dire consequences. How's your department? How are the officers doing?
They're impacted. All of us are. I think officers across the country are impacted. I've watched several videos of officer-involved shootings through my years, and whether it's in your hometown or whether it's across the country, it impacts you. And my guys are definitely impacted. I've talked to all my officers daily, and certainly these officers, I've checked on their well-being. They're okay. They're okay. They're doing all right.
Another question, Chief, too. I mean, yeah, these are 5 officers. As you said last week, this is 20% of your force. How are you guys moving forward with these 5 officers on the lead right now?
we're doing the best we can, and as I told you in my introduction, we're relying on the great law enforcement agencies that we're surrounded by. Yeah, we're getting by.
What was this? So, he's talking about something about the police being there to encourage that or something? What was all that about? Like they're not allowed to stop him? What does he mean?
I have no idea, sir.
What sort of services are the fire officers involved getting offered from the department?
Say that again for me?
What sort of services are the fire officers involved being offered by the department? Therapy, that sort of stuff.
So our department has a mental health group that is available to them as they need it. It's completely confidential. It's paid for by the city. However, I'm not privy to their usage of it. So I'm confident that they are aware of it.
So they're plenty of it.
Absolutely.
So the family, they issued that release. I'm sure you've seen it. It's been repeated over and over. They call this a brutal murder. I guess, what do you say for that?
I say it's just a tragic ending to what started out as an everyday traffic stop. The proverbial routine traffic stop ended in tragedy.
And take away the gun from that, would he have at most just gotten a ticket, or would you have arrested him for having a license and registration?
We would only know that if the investigation would have been allowed to play out, right? Trying to extract him from the vehicle was part of that process to further figure out what was going to happen from a criminal element of this circumstance. Now we won't know.
You identified the 5 yet, or will you?
We will, not right now.
Not even.
I feel like they deserve privacy right now.
So at the end of the video, when it all goes down, there's like a chainsaw or something. Something loud.
I'll speak to that just from watching what you're watching. I'm pretty certain that's the vehicle. You'll hear, actually, when you rewatch this, which I'm sure you will, you'll hear that vehicle actually revs high RPMs just prior to the eruption of gunfire.
Like you have this foot on the gas, losing heart.
That's all I can assume.
Just got the same question from our newsroom. Could he have been reaching for his seatbelt buckle? Is that something that's going through your head in the investigation?
And again, I'm not doing the investigation as I watch this. Could have been. It's in the same location. Okay, thank you.
Everything seemed to be quite calm and moving in a calm manner until the extraction. That seemed to be a step up in the force used. What did you see? What do you see when you look at that? What do you see? It seemed to me like a big jump. Like it escalated quite quickly to get him out of the vehicle.
I would actually say just the contrary. The force continuum goes from verbal to hands-on. I think had our officers chosen to, we're all looking at this from a Monday morning quarterback standpoint. They had no idea what was about to happen. They couldn't have known what was about to happen. And so had they have chosen to use a pepper ball, to use a taser, to use some other impact weapon, something actually higher level of force than hands-on, I think we would be questioning that, to be quite honest. So that escalation of force from verbal to hands-on, in my opinion, was absolutely reasonable and appropriate.
You talked about based on training. Do all 5 officers have to see the gun to prompt them to shoot?
That's not necessarily what I would deem as training.
Well, when they choose to use deadly force, what's the standard? What do they have? I mean, I know they have to feel like their life's in danger, but do they have to see something certain?
They have to feel an imminent threat that could cause serious bodily injury or death to themselves or to someone else. That's the state statute.
So if somebody starts firing just because their partner's firing, is that a reason or not?
I'm going to let the investigation speak to that.
Any idea when that will be done or how long it will take?
Again, there just is no typical in our profession, right? I can't speak to the timeline of that. I know there's many detectives, investigators working hard as we speak, so I have full confidence in that. Anything else? Thank you all for coming. Appreciate you.